GetCrack. Wake up, motherfucker.
Hey, what's up? Okay, what's going on? Semiconductor's kind of boring this morning, huh? It was like whatever. But HUT, APLD, NBIS, CFIR, IREN, they all woke up today. Oh shit. Well, didn't need to do anything. Just continue on the process. Continue on the process. Just keep making money. I'll just go back to sleep. Anyway, yeah. I mean, California is really good right now. It's like May, late spring. So it's very nice up here in Northern California. So there's no clouds, nothing in there. Nice sunny weather. You can just go surfing or do whatever. Who gives a fuck, man? Just let the market give you money. You don't need to go to work. Fuck that shit. So I told you guys yesterday about physiognomy, right? Physiognomy is so important. I was talking about ARM a little bit, and I think it's a good time to discuss ARM again because what the hell is ARM doing? ARM is still pumping for some reason. So I guess Nvidia didn't have earnings. It was more ARM that had earnings for some reason, right? It's just like, what? So Nvidia reports earnings, but ARM takes all the credit for it. Interesting, interesting. I guess that would explain why yesterday ARM was pumping on no news. Did somebody know? Did somebody know they were going to pump ARM today and they were already pre-pumping it? Probably. I'm guessing so. There's a lot of people that will just, there's a lot of insiders out here that seem to know things. And that's why everything is about physiognomy. Physiognomy check. Let's look at ARM again. So I told yesterday, I said there's a long range back in 2024, right? We had our spin-off of ARM from SoftBank. SoftBank bought ARM, took it away from the market. It used to be a stock. And then in 2023, they put it back on the market. Since 2024, we've been in this kind of range here. So we go between 85, 90 to 180, I guess. You want to say this. But recently, we started breaking out, right? Sometime during April 20th, the week of April 20th, we started breaking out. So let's zoom in. Let's see what's up. Let's look at the daily. So if we look at this, okay, we have a long range, very long range, right? So about 2 years worth of sideways action. And then all of a sudden we break out and we start making this mini range here. You see this? This is about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So probably about 20 bars, 18 to 20 bars, I guess, between here. So that's a month's worth of trading. So we're in a range, a smaller range, on top of a bigger range. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, I didn't see any news. I don't know why ARM, out of all the semiconductors, went up this high. And then all of a sudden, this morning, they're saying, like, oh, NVIDIA's earnings is actually very good for ARM. What? Huh? So did somebody yesterday knew that NVIDIA's earnings was actually better for ARM price action than NVIDIA price action? Because NVIDIA is boring right now. It's just down like 1.7%, right? So it's exactly like what happened during after hours yesterday. It was up like maybe 2%, down 2%, zigzag, zigzag, doing nothing, boring. So this is, I guess, the first time NVIDIA's earnings did nothing, did absolutely nothing to the market. The market doesn't care about it. The market is doing what it does uh, by itself. But in the meantime, we got HUT. HUT's been dancing around between 5 to 7% today. We got NBIS. Okay, it's 14, 15, 16%. APLD, looks like APLD wants to be number 2 again. So I'm happy I bought like NBIS on that Tuesday dump. So now I got HUT, which I converted to HUT G. So now I'm up 12, 14%, I guess, depending. Then I'm up on NBIS and I have APLD. So should I convert NBIS and APLD to leverage too? I don't know. Am I crazy? Are we done with this range or are we still going to zigzag? Because if you look at ARM, right, it took like 20 trading days to complete. Now, is it going to take that long for HUT, NBIS, APLD, CIFR, IREN, all these other ones? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you that. But it is curious that when it pumped up, it started like going sideways until it kissed the moving average here, right, on the daily. That's pretty interesting. So it waited until it started kissing it, and then it started moving up again. So I think HUT should be going up then, if that's true. Can we believe that? So we would say like, okay, it goes up 30 something percent on earnings, goes sideways. It kissed it on Tuesday. This moving average is so as long are we going to wait for this moving average to start climbing into this range, and maybe a few more trading days we'll start moving up again, higher and higher? Is that how it goes? We're going to start breaking out? I don't know. So that's why I told you, physiognomy. It's all about physiognomy. Somebody knows something somewhere, and it'll show up in the chart, I think. Right? You're going to see some weird stuff happening. You see a lot of volume coming in ARM yesterday. So that wasn't for something that had no news. We had a lot of volume come in the first few hours, right, yesterday. So if you look at the 78-minute, like you can see, like, okay, the last time we had a big earnings in the morning and we got that volume, so we went down back into the range. And then yesterday, for some reason, a lot of volume, and we pushed it right out. I don't know. Was there news? You guys tell me. I don't pay attention to news. I just look at a chart and I go like, what? This looks fascinating. We had 2 tries over here, right? Friday, 24th April, May 6th. I don't know what happened here or here, but this defined the range at the top. This defined it at the bottom, and then we broke it yesterday, and then now we're continuing on. You guys tell me, is there something to physiognomy checks? I think there is. I think physiognomy checks are really important here. So that's it. All right, let me read your comments. Something about gap and crap. No, there was no gap and crap. Interest rates creeping. I have a video about interest rates, so it will explain to you why interest rates don't no longer affect the stock market. It affects gold though, right? Gold is down today again. So like I said, anything else? Something about Samsung. Is Samsung trade? Samsung is traded on the over-the-counter market in the US. So no, there's no direct access to Samsung. If you want Samsung, you got to buy the over-the-counter penny stock stuff. So it's traded there. It's like Tencent. Tencent is also not traded in the US markets in the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. It's traded in the over-counter. So you can get Tencent, Tech-E, Tech-E? I forgot. Man, when you trade over the counter, you have like 5 fucking names to remember. So TCEHY is Tencent over the counter, but for some reason the Tencent music arm is traded on the New York Stock Exchange, TME. Okay, so Samsung. Oh my god. God damn it. Great. TC Samsung SSNLF. Okay, 5 letters for you to remember. I guess there's a SSNLY too or something. I don't know. I don't even know if this is tradable. What the hell is this? SSNLY? I mean, honestly, whatever. If you want to get Samsung, just get EWY, the ETF. Okay, just get the ETF. The ETF is mostly just Samsung and SK Hynix. Okay, EW, or you just get Koru. All right. Otherwise, you're gonna be annoyed by, oh, there's low volume. I can't trade it because nobody is trading SSNLF. Like, dude, just get the ETF. Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna get it. Just about to go out of the hole with HUT. G, sell now, wait for the next dip. I don't think there's another dip. I mean, okay, look, we got Memorial Day Monday. So do you think Trump is going to attack Iran in the next 3 days or not? So you guys think it's gonna happen? Nokia is not Korean. Nokia is Finnish. Nokia is Finnish. It sounds Korean. Maybe it's because like the Finnish language is um the Finnish language is like Hungarian, like Estonian, or is it at Latvian? I don't know. It's like, so it's similar to Japanese, Korean, and Mongolian, right? Because it's the same style structure of language. So there's a theory, right? Like there's a theory that these languages came from the Urals, and these old people like. So that's probably why you think Nokia sounds Asian. And actually, a lot of Finnish people kind of do look Asian, actually. So I don't know. So yeah, so I'm not gonna get into that. I'm sure there's like a Hyperborean theory or some weird like Altaic language theory where they say like Mongolians, Koreans, and Japanese and Tungustic people and Hungarians and Latvians or whatever. Finnish. So no, Nokia's Finnish. Nokia's Finnish. Okay. Or SSNGY. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the over the counter stocks, you're gonna get low volume. It's gonna be annoying. It's like you're trading Hut G or some of those other ones, right? They don't have a lot of volume, so it's very hard to get an order through at a certain price. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. You feel like what do you mean by feel? What do you mean by feel? See, this is the problem here. You're feeling, your gut. Is your gut even correct? See? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you. You think the only move on a rocket? Yeah, we're done now. What? We don't have Broadcom earnings until 2 weeks. Next week we'll have Marvell earnings. So what's gonna kill semiconductors? The other thing would be like if the Koreans somehow have a huge market crash in Korea because of the war in Iran, because that would crash the Korean markets, right? So if you increase the problems in Iran, the Koreans are going to freak out because they're very sensitive to oil, all right? Because they have to import all their energy, right? Oil, natural gas. That would freak them out. The Korean market will crash, and then that will crash the U.S. semiconductor market because, as we know, the only reason the US market is going up is because of semiconductors, and the semiconductors are pumped by the Korean markets overnight. The Korean overnight market pumps us, we pump, then overnight the Koreans repump what we pumped, and then it's back and forth, back and forth. This is the reason why we've been moving up so well, is because the Koreans put money in their markets, our markets go up after, and then they go because so we have the full 24 hours of pump, 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 pump. I just asked Claude for the best OTC tickers in the American market, and it spit out SL. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would. It probably because like this the only the Korean the whole Korea is putting their money in Samsung and SK Hynix right now. That's it. That's pretty much it. They're living like it's the 1990s for us in the dot-com boom. Okay. There was some news with Trump and the president in Taiwan, I think. I don't know. I don't think any of this stuff really matters. Like, unless you start having a shooting war in Iran, it really isn't going to dude, you got insider trading information for me? If you don't, it's all speculation. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, right? Okay, anyhow, we got that out of the way. Let's see. Rocket Lab, ASTS, LUNR. So Rocket Lab is still in the range right here. Okay. So we haven't decided if we want to go anywhere yet. I guess Rocket Lab is issuing more shares. I guess that's what's going on, like at the top half of the range right here. So I don't know. Can't say nothing about that. ASTS. How about this one? Okay, so it's still kind of in an ugly pattern because we still haven't reached the 122 here yet. So still wait and see. LUNR. Yeah, LUNR looks good, I guess. And I guess we have to wait for PL Planet Labs. Planet Labs will report in a couple weeks. All right, June. Okay, yeah, a couple weeks. Planet Labs, but the trend in Planet Labs is still good. All right, good. That's it. That's it for the top. Aerospace space. SpaceX will have IPO next month, I guess. So SpaceX already submitted their S1 form to the SEC, so they're ready to do IPO. There's 277 pages. So you can go find it if you want. You can read 277 pages about SpaceX and decide if you want to buy that IPO. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then we got Anthropic next with ChatGPT coming up. So those will be the next ones to submit their reports to the SEC, getting ready for IPO. So SpaceX, I guess, will be the first big IPO this year. So let's wait for that one next month. That's probably the top, I guess, for now, right? Once SpaceX has an IPO, we'll get a nice little pump, and then the market will just crash, right? Everything's going till June, right? I said June was probably where the top is. So we have Kevin Warsh will start talking. So we have a new Fed chair. That'll be the first time he talks to the public as a Fed chair. So that's in like Juneteenth, right? The week of Juneteenth. Maybe SpaceX will have the IPO around the same time. So we got two things going on, two big things going on in June. Maybe that's a top. Maybe that'll be the top. That'll be the end of it. So we gotta wait for there. But if you're thinking like, oh, there's gonna be another big dump coming, bro, everybody had their chance. You had Friday, Monday, Tuesday. You had expirations options, Monday after expiration options, and you have VIX futures expiration. Those 3 days were the big chances you had to crash the market. Then you have Nvidia last night. So again, Nvidia, do your thing. Nvidia, nothing happened. Big whoop. Nvidia didn't even go up, didn't even go down really, and didn't even like do anything to the market. So those were your chances to crash the market. It's over, man. Like the only thing you're gonna hope for is Trump. Trump has to do something. He has to launch the nukes. That's the only way. So unless you tell me you got insider knowledge of what Trump's gonna do over the long 3-day weekend, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go up, up, up to June, man, until the next big thing, which is Kevin Warsh. He talks and SpaceX IPO. Otherwise, you guys tell me what's the big news coming up. We've been through it already. We went through every major thing, every major possibility. It's shares had their chance. If you want to scare people and sell, those were your options. I don't see it. I don't see it. All I see is a range, man. All I see is a range. I don't see a dump. I just see a range. If I see a range like this, bro, this is just setting up to go up again. Look at this, right? This is the SPY. They're the S&P 500. Where is the scariness here? The uptrend is still intact. I see nothing. I see nothing. What? Give me a big red candle right now. Otherwise, I can't do anything about this. If there's going to be a big red candle on Tuesday because we're going into war with Iran, all right, but I don't have a crystal ball. I don't got nothing. I can't tell you anything further than this. I just can tell you what I see right now and be done with it. And just do like risk assessment here, right? So if you bought on Tuesday, I guess you're comfortable with where we're at. So NBIS, APLD, HUT, got those. If I want to do semiconductors, no, I'm not doing them unless you bought on Tuesday. See here would have been a good time. If you want to buy Korea, again, what Tuesday, Wednesday was your place to buy these. All right, same thing. So see, you hit the moving average. There, it's bouncing off of it. Once you break this little channel, you're done. You're gonna go up higher. So yeah, I don't see anything here that tells me that it's gonna go down. It's gonna have some surprise attack again. I'm sure if you go on Twitter, you'll see a lot of people claiming that there's gonna be a surprise attack. I mean, we've been through this. How many times have we heard a surprise attack? Soon as I get out, they drag me back in. Yep, there you go. That's how it works. Sorry. Like I said, none of this stuff predicts the future. All it does is, like, I look at the physiognomy check and I go, the physiognomy looks good. So the chance of it doing what I think it's going to do is going up now. So let's look at AMD, right? Okay. Physiognomy looks fine. Look at it. It has a range. Okay, here to here. Look at that. Still looks okay. Maybe it goes sideways for 5 more trading days, but whatever. It looks like it's going to go up again. How about Intel? I can do the same thing. Physiognomy check. Let's do this. Got here. We got a top here. I guess we got our bottom here. Okay. Looks like it's going sideways. Once it's done with that, maybe 5 more trading days. Going to go up again. Okay. You get the idea, right? Like, based off of this, do I see it going down? No. You had your chance here. You had 3 trading days here of it to crash through this, break down, go down here, make a wider range. Like, let's say it did that. If it did this, if we actually did this, okay, now I believe it's going to go down. But no, it just did this. The volatility is decreasing here. No, sorry. You have to have large spreads, huge volatility. The only way you're going to get a crash is the volatility goes up and the market goes down, right? That's why I played that video yesterday. I played that video yesterday because that guy said, that nerd yesterday, I said, do the physiognomy check of that nerd. Do you believe what that guy said? He said, like, whoa, volatility is going up, but the market is going up. Weird. That's weird. That's not normal. That means if the market goes up and volatility goes up, it's going to go a lot higher. Okay, that means we're in bubble land, right? We're going to be a bubble. So volatility is going to increase again, and we're just going to go up higher and higher. So this thing will just break out and go higher and higher. So maybe it'll go up to $200 because that's what I see. Okay, wow. Based on options. I don't know. DXYZ is on that Finviz screen setting. DXYZ. So is that the ticker symbol for the IPO? Oh, it's a proxy play. What the hell is that? Oh my god, dude, we're too early to play these things. Okay, I mean, you can practice with them to get a feel of what it feels like to be in a bubble, but I'm not gonna play that shit. Dude, I'm not. Dude, I got some other ones for you. I got some other ones. You want to play something crazy? Okay. Have you heard of AXTI? Have you heard of this one? Have you heard of AXTI? Okay. Now let me zoom out. Let me do the weekly chart. You ever played this one? So for some reason in August 18th, we got this huge pump here, 37% on volume. If you look at the history of this stock, there's never been a time when you had very good volume unless you look right back in April 2024 or February 2024. For the most part, very low volume. And this is a penny stock, right? It used to be $1. All of a sudden, since August 18th, for whatever reason, it just started pumping. More volume, more volume, more volume, more volume, even more volume, even more volume. Now it's like $120. Okay? There's a lot of these bubble stocks out there, man. You could do those scans all day long and you could find more of them. Here's another one. NVTS. This one's not as exciting, okay? It's ugly. It doesn't have a nice straight line like AXTI, okay? So these are all semiconductor stocks. Very small cap, micro cap, penny stocks, right? Back in 2025, it was $1.62. I played this before. Around like 2022, but it was like, ugh, this thing is too risky. Fuck this. So when it couldn't break out of like $8 successfully, I just got out of this thing and never looked back. I was like, nope, too risky. This is for the young folks. You youngins probably want this kind of stock. All right, here you go. $1, $2. What? Let's see. What's it? Now it's 10 again. Breaks out of this range, goes up 23. So I'm guessing this is going to go to $200 a share by next year, right? Based on what this is telling me. Because once we break out of this is the SPAC IPO level here, because this is a SPAC. It opened up around $10. I could tell it's a SPAC because most SPACs would IPO at $10. It opens up at $10, goes up here to $20 within a few weeks, and then crashes and burns. So now we broke out. So I guess we're going to go to $200 now. Okay, what about another one? A-Lab. Small cap, micro cap, penny stock. Action here, even though not like $1 or less, it definitely acts like a penny stock. I might well consider it a penny stock. Okay. Here, let's see. We got this high was September 2025. We broke out. Okay, I guess this one is going to go to $2,000 a share next year, right? So we are at early stages of bubbles. Okay, we're going to see more and more stocks that will act like this. This is why I said, like, if you guys want to play risk, if you guys are young, these stocks would interest you, because you would be able to trade it. If you can trade this correctly, you can get like a few 100% every week, right? Something like that. This is what a .com bubble feels like. Yep, this is what a .com bubble feels like. This is the kind of action you'll start seeing. You'll see more stocks act and behave like this every day, every week, and you can jump around. You can jump from one hot thing to a next hot thing. Today, it's like ARM, right? ARM. Tomorrow, it'll be somebody else. And then the next day, it'll be somebody else. And you're going to keep going. Yeah, CRDO, correct. CRDO is another one. I can keep finding more and more of these ridiculous looking stocks. There we go. There we go. Here's another one for. All right. I've retired. I need to do this stuff is like interesting, but I actually on this one, we have the last hot 2017. Okay, AOI. Why not? Why not? I'll be this one too, AOI. So it'll just be like it'll be a potential. I'm writing CRDO. Well, good luck. Yeah, good. All right. Okay, guys, that's enough. That's 30 minutes. I'm gonna play some video now.
you're starting to see the 2-year go up. And as long as the 2-year is above the Fed rate, then what you're going to have is you're going to have an accommodative money environment by the Fed. As long as the 2-year, even if rates are going up, if the Fed is reluctant to raise rates and the 2-year is going up, they're actually being in the system. We have a new Fed head that's going to be installed on Friday, and this is Warsh. And he, I believe, is going to be very reluctant to become restrictive in his rate policies. And he may not lower rates, but he's going to, I think, be very reluctant to raise them. And so I could see a case where the 2-year continues to go up and the Fed is on a stable interest rate policy, and keeping the Fed rate at a given level while the 2-year goes up actually is a form of accommodation and easy money. And so I think that we could actually be in a case where you have the Fed being accommodative going forward and not restrictive.
All right. See, so last week they asked Roman. So Roman had a live stream. I played that live stream 2 nights ago, right, for you guys. And he got asked 2 questions about. One question was about options. He said, "I don't know anything about options. Talk to someone else." And then he was asked about the new Fed chair and about interest rates. And he said, "Oh, go talk to Bruce. I don't know anything. Ask him later." So this is Bruce talking about interest rates. Bruce is older than me. He has more knowledge than me. He grew up in the stock market during the time of the 70s and 80s, which had a different action, different regime. So like I said, the market is all about experience more than anything else. You have to experience how it feels to be in the 90s, which had a lot of tech bubbles, during the Bush era, right? Bush #2, George W. Like, you had a lot of action in commodities. That was when we went to war, and oil, gold, silver were dominant. Real estate was being more dominant as well, because a lot of people cashed out of the dot-com boom and went into real estate. So that had a different effect. The stock market was boring at that time. The only thing interesting was gold, silver, oil, commodities, basically, and industrial stocks and material stocks. Those are the only ones that went up, and people buying real estate, which caused the 2008 crash. You had the 2008 crash, then people got out of all the real estate, all that, and where they went back to the stock market, pumped all that shit back up in the stock market, went back up again. So I told you, everything has a regime. Everything has a different flavor to it. You might think like interest rates go up and the stock market goes down. What he's telling you is that interest rates are going up because the bond market is saying interest rates should be up. But if the Fed is fighting the bond market, this could actually be a case where the stock market ignores what the bond market is saying and assumes that the Fed that Trump appointed, remember, Trump is the one appointing him, right? He's the one that wanted someone who was less restrictive than Jerome Powell. So if this guy is in Trump's pocket, if this guy is going to be dovish compared to Jerome Powell, then the stock market will still go up, even if interest rates do go up. That's what he's saying right here. I don't know if I believe him or not. I'm not telling you if you should believe him or not, but that's the explanation. Now I gave you an explanation, right? And that's why I said the market, the stock market, the bond market, the currency markets, the commodities markets, futures markets, options markets, everything is more complex than you could ever imagine. There's no one-to-one correlation at any given point. You might see correlation and you might see its causation, but sometimes it's not. Okay, so let me repeat this again.
What you're going to have is you're going to have an accommodative money environment by the Fed. As long as the 2-year, even if rates are going up, if the Fed is reluctant to raise rates and the 2-year is going up, they're actually being accommodative in the system. We have a new Fed head that's going to be installed on Friday, and this is Warsh. And he, I believe, is going to be very reluctant to become restrictive in his rate policies. And he may not lower rates, but he's going to, I think, be very reluctant to raise them. And so I could see a case where the 2-year continues to go up and the Fed is on a stable interest rate policy, and keeping the Fed rate at a given level while the 2-year goes up actually is a form of accommodation and easy money. And so I think that we could actually be in a case where you have the Fed being accommodative going forward and not restrictive. And they may talk tough and do all this other stuff, but it's more about what they're doing and not what they're talking about. The Fed, for a period of time, was actually shrinking their balance sheet. They grew their balance sheet immensely, and they did that through QE. And Powell actually was systematically but slowly reducing the Fed balance sheet. And so they did get it down some. But as of the last number of months, the Fed has not been reducing their balance sheet anymore. And the Fed is doing mild QE. So not only is the Fed have the 2-year rate above the Fed funds rate and is not likely to raise it, but they're also doing mild QE. And I don't see how they can avoid doing QE because of this fiscal dominance issue. So I think that we have a permanently accommodative Fed going forward, and that I think is beneficial to the stock market going up.
All right, there you go. You know that Trump loves the stock market going up, right? All he talks about is the stock market. Every time the stock market goes down, he does everything he can to pump it higher. So right now, Trump is the guy that's for you. As long as Trump is in office, you better just buy the dips, boy. If you better believe in tacos, you better believe that Trump always chickens out, because everything is designed to go up here. That's it, man. That's it, my friends. So I don't know what else to tell you. All right, let's go on to the next video. Let's go on to the next video here. We can move on. This is about cybersecurity.
If you've been on the internet the last couple of weeks, you've probably seen headlines like this. How dangerous is Mythos, Anthropic's new AI model? Dario Amodi's warning should not be dismissed. Finance ministers and bankers raise serious concerns about Mythos AI model. A lot of hype and fear of this new find and exploit vulnerabilities in software. And these headlines have raised some important questions about the future of cybersecurity research. The problem is we're dead with the real and dead necessarily, right? I think there's still an industry that is alive and engineering and bug research as these models become more publicly available. For those of you not aware, Mythos is a model by Anthropic that supposedly on this graph go up chart is significantly better on not only finding vulnerabilities, but specifically chaining vulnerabilities together to write full-on exploits to write exploits for software. And as a result, because of how dangerous this software supposedly is, this model can just find exploits and exploit them. It was given only to a select list of companies so that they can find bugs in their internal software to hopefully make the world a better place. And because of this, it's too too dangerous for the public marketing, there was a lot of conversation about, is it actually too dangerous or is it all just hype? We actually have no publicly available data on if this model is really better at doing anything. Until now. Enter curl. Now curl, if you're not aware, is a tool that's used to do web requests on the internet, and not only a command line tool, but libcurl, the software behind curl, is a commonly used piece of software in the C programming language to do web requests. And so a vulnerability in libcurl would be a really big deal. The ability for a malicious web server to serve down traffic that pops a libcurl instance would be very bad. And so with that, libcurl actually got an audit by Project Glasswing using Mythos, and the results are underwhelming. There are a few reasons for this I'll go into, and I think overall it's interesting to see the output of Mythos, but generally a little disappointing. To set the stage here, we're going to talk about the homie Dan Stenberg. Daniel Stenberg is the lead maintainer of the curl project. He and a team of I think 20 people keep that project alive, and they also maintain the security side of the code base. Whenever a bug report comes into curl, somebody, Dan Stenberg or his friends that maintain the code base, have to handle that report. And earlier this year, there were actually so many bug reports that were fake and not real, all being made by AI, that Dan Stenberg actually pulled his bug bounty program from HackerOne. I made several videos about this, but as of January 31st, there is no longer a bug bounty program for curl on HackerOne. This kind of set a negative tone for the world of AI-powered research, because at the end of the day, AI was just hallucinating bugs that didn't exist in curl, sending them to the curl bug bounty program, and effectively DOSing people socially. There weren't enough people to triage all the reports, so potentially real bugs were hiding in the fake bugs, and ultimately it made the situation for curl very, very dangerous. An important thing to highlight is AI models started very bad at finding vulnerabilities in software, but there's been a very hard to ignore increase in their functionality over the last few months. If you look at January of 2025, over a year ago, you look at DeepSeek v3, this is their performance on this thing called cybergym.io. Cybergym.io is a benchmark code base that has a set of known vulnerabilities in the code base, vulnerabilities that we know exist in a set of code. What the Cybergym benchmark does is you tell the model, go find vulnerabilities in this code base, and the success rate is how many of the bugs did it actually find? Did it make any fake ones up? How many of the real bugs in the software did it find? And over the last year, we've actually seen a very steady increase in the performance of these AI models. If you look at January of 26 here, which is around the time that Dan Stenberg closed the bug bounty program, up until that point, we were at like a 30% success rate. And trust me, if you use an AI model to find bugs, it's gonna find bugs, but it's probably gonna make up some bugs. So if it only finds 30% of the real ones, you could argue 70% of the bugs are fake. As we go up the graph closer to this time period, now we're in May, April of this year, Claude Mythos Preview supposedly, again, closed metrics, I don't have access to these, but it's finding supposedly 85% of all bugs. So with that, Dan Stenberg took the free scan he was going to get from Project Glasswing to figure out how many hidden memory corruption vulnerabilities were hiding inside of curl. Now, one thing we need to highlight here when talking about curl is this is a point that Mythos and Glasswing acknowledged before even doing the report. Curl is one of the most fuzzed and audited C code bases in existence. It's fuzzed by open source fuzz, by Coverity, CodeQL, multiple paid previous audits. Finding anything in the hot paths, a hot path meaning the most common used default config paths like HTTP1, TLS, or URL parsing, is extremely unlikely. And even Dan tweeted out, I think this is on Mastodon, how many bugs do you think Glasswing's gonna find, for between 1 and 10, nowhere near 2,700. Also important to point out that not heavily audited cared about code. Daniel Stenberg is one of the maintainers of a code base from that Daniel Stenberg did. These are all of the different things they do to the code base to make sure that it is a safe code base. He takes the severity of being the maintainer of curl extremely seriously. They have review bots, human checks, many document everything. They do fuzzing in don't stop doing it while doing signed releases and reporting. And so they came out, and Mythos actually only found 5 vulnerabilities, and again, these are confirmed vulnerabilities, confirmed by the AI, which is going to have like the red alarm emojis in the report and stuff. 5 confirmed vulnerabilities that actually boil down to only 1 vulnerability that end up only being a severity low CVE. So we take all the Mythos hype for the public, and it boils down to ability and a 17 and notably 0 memory safety categories of problem that we're trying to evaluate if Mythos is actually good at, that no one like objectively knows about right now except for people internal to Project Glasswing. The first one is Mythos objectively better at finding vulnerabilities? That there is really no publicly available data that confirms that, right? And again, all of these are metrics that are being created by Anthropic or Project Glasswing that none of us can see. But if you look at the graph that they've published on Mythos, the other category of problem is Mythos better at writing exploits, at taking other vulnerabilities, several maybe small scale vulnerabilities, and chaining them together into a full-on exploit? If you don't know a ton about the world of exploitation, typically when you find vulnerabilities, they enable these things called primitives, right? You have an arbitrary read anonymously is what Anthropic claims that me sold OpenBSD bug, but you know that it took $20,000 of token spend to find this vulnerability, and ultimately this vulnerability is just a DOS, a denial of service, meaning it'll crash the kernel, but it doesn't create any primitives that enable the attacker to get remote code execution. So in terms of finding vulnerabilities, it's entirely possible that Mythos is not actually that much better at finding vulnerabilities.
All right. Do any of you understand what the hell is even going on? Okay, I'm betting like some of you guys might be in computer science, maybe not. And even if you were, are you up to date on the lingo? He's talking about tokens. He's talking about oh my god, memory protection and freaking pointers. Okay, I'm not even getting into this. But there is something called tokens, where people are paid in effort. So there's a lot of tweets out there right now where people are saying they're gaming the system. So if you work for Facebook, Meta, you basically try to accrue tokens at your workplace. And that tells them that you're using AI to perform your work. So they basically reward people for using AI. And now they've gamed the system. So employees in certain software companies are gaming the system where they generate tokens while doing nothing. And so it's like, this is why we are at a time. Yeah, I mean, I'm spacing out too. I don't even know half of this shit. It's like, because once you're out of the game, like, I'm a hardware guy, right? I can kind of understand what he's saying because, yeah, I know there's memory exploits. That's something I can understand because he's talking about somebody coding directly into RAM, right? But outside of that, he's talking a lingo that I kind of have picked up reading other people's tweets. So there's another layer of abstraction when you work in a software company right now, where you are paid in tokens to work with AI. And I think there's a lot of like, it's kind of like welfare in a way. Like people are gaming this system where they pretend they're actually working, but they're not. And they're just using AI to inject and do random nonsense. And this is kind of like where he's just going on and on about like the AI is making up bugs that don't even exist to show that it's actually doing something. So a lot of the stocks that crashed about a month or 2 months ago, right? Fortinet, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Network, they crashed because Mythos, the latest subset of Claude Anthropic AI, it's just like, yeah, it's like Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically like Chuck E. Cheese. This is why you want to work in a tech company. When you work in a tech company, you can game the system. It's not real work. Like if you work in a blue collar field, right? You actually do something that's visible. It's not virtual. I see you're pouring concrete. I see you're making shingles. I see that you're making, like, come on, right? You're putting on the wallpaper. You're painting. I actually see with my eyes what you're doing. We are at a point where people are just making up work that don't even are based on anything in the real world. right now because everything is so abstract, so meta, right? It's interesting. You know, the company is called Meta now. Facebook into Meta. We're entering the metaverse. What is real and what's not real? Tell me that. We're getting to metaphysics, right? So when you get to a higher level in the chain where you go into these white collar jobs that move up higher and higher, you don't even know what the hell half of these people actually do. You should fire all of them. Because if they're just making up jobs that don't even actually apply to the baseline reality, why should I even pay you? I'm not even talking about profit or losses. I'm just thinking like, what do you guys actually do in this company? This is scary shit. This is really scary shit. So I think this is where the bubble aspect is going to come in. We're going to have a lot of these IPOs. Anthropic is going to have an IPO. ChatGPT is going to have an IPO. SpaceX is going to have an IPO. There's going to be more and more IPOs coming down the line where it's just like, dude, these guys are just making up stuff to show that they're growing. They're growing in what sense? Why? Why do I need you? Tell me that. Right? We move beyond Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What do I need? I need food. I need water. I need clean air. That's basically it. But now it's like, I need Wi-Fi. I need AI. I need... What? Do you really need that to survive? If you listen to Clavicular, it looks like I need AI to survive because I need to analyze my face and then break my skull in a few times so that my jaw and facial structures reorganize in a pattern that's most likely to attract as many females as possible. Is this reality or not? Tell me that. Tell me that. So I think in human history, we never been so abstract as we are now. And this is what's going to pump these stocks. So I think you want to make as much money as you can on BS. Yeah, AI needs water. Yeah, you know what? This is so... I'm just laughing my ass off with all this shit. You know, this stuff is so dumb. This is so dumb. I think this is a result of having too much comfort in the first world, you know, this kind of shit. Because I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. I think half of the stuff he's talking about, nobody will understand, right? I can ban like half of it. So I bet you guys probably only understand a tenth of what he just said right here. You just blah, 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 blah. This is what is driving the stock market. This type of shit, not reality. So we have abstracted to the point where I think we got to prepare for the bubble. There's going to be a bubble that's really going to pop off. It's a bubble this year. You think it was a bubble last year? Wait till next year. I think this stuff blow your mind. Blow your mind. Okay, don't you think they can create new coolant fluids that are recyclable instead of shutting on? That's an interesting question. I never been, when I was working in the data centers and doing the optical cables and copper cables and things like that, I don't think like the cooling, people were looking in like very far ahead into how much cooling you needed, because people were still using passive fans, right, to do their cooling. I mean, it's okay, fans are not passive, but still, they were generally passive. All it was a big fan to go around the data center and then make little aisles to space them out so that you have cold air going back to the hot air and kind of like have that refrigeration effect. I'm sure a lot of people dynamic have an idea about it. I don't know. This is beyond me. There's a lot that will have to do that. VST, I guess, VRT, VST, one of them. Oh, Jesus Christ! Hey, you want to talk about antifreeze or something like that too? I think we've gone far beyond the pale with this stuff. All right, I got another video for you. So I'm gonna play this little thing from CT. CT was talking with Lowe yesterday about Ray Dalio, and I actually had a Ray Dalio video queued up 2 ago, but I never played it. I didn't get a chance to play it. All right, my bad. All right, let's get to the video. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. It's gonna be queued up. All right, let's go. This is CT with Low yesterday.
Inspired to do this thing. You know, playing sports. Did you play sports?
Athletes.
Right? Everybody can be disciplined. Right?
Well, Bando,
This is a person that took discipline and actually
he wasn't disciplined. He was not disciplined when he got. He was not disciplined when he was cheating on his wife.
He was at the highest height.
Bando, real quick, are you familiar with Ray Dalio?
Yeah, I've heard him. Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm trading my 100, I'm not thinking of Kobe. I'm thinking of Ray Dalio said. To be honest about it, you know, in no offense, I feel that's what younger people do.
No,
Like when it comes to like practical stuff, like
you gotta remember that.
I get it, but you know, when I'm looking at my portfolio, which is only about $100 in it, I don't think about what Kobe would do. I think about what Ray Dalio would say in terms of discipline and what.
So you wouldn't pay attention to what Kobe was investing?
Yeah, if I knew publicly what he was invested in, sure, of course I would. Yeah, I mean, I do that with I do Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I
can't say.
But when it comes to
Ray Dalio thing.
but when it comes to somebody who actually is skilled in a position, I'm listening to Ray Dalio when it comes to financial stuff.
But you know, it's not about skill when it comes to investments. You just got to know somebody that knows some information.
Well, you're half right, half wrong. You're half right and half wrong. Everybody doesn't have the luck of knowing.
You Kobe had better connects.
Oh, than me or Ray Dalio?
No, than Ray Dalio.
Dude, are you insane? Ray Dalio runs a what? We knew you had more connects to Ray Dalio.
Athlete in the world, dog. That's different.
Bro, we're talking about an athlete versus a goddamn somebody who runs the financial trade. What are you talking about?
So hold on. If I want to compare the net worth real quick because I know
of Ray Dalio to Kobe Bryant. Okay, so go ahead, buddy.
I got to.
Go ahead, buddy.
But I'm just saying you can say it's comparable because they're both.
Just go ahead and compare Ray Dalio's net worth. Okay, just go compare. Just compare Ray Dalio versus Kobe.
It's different. Yeah, you're right.
It's a lot different.
This is the idea though. Is that they're both at the top of their fields. It's not like okay, Ray Dalio is over here in the section of investments.
Kobe's not playing basketball,
right? He's a hedge fund guy. He runs that lane. Kobe ran the lane of basketball for that time period. It was just that time period. So for athletes during that time period and going forward, they're going to be looking at Kobe, not Ray Dalio. It's just what I'm saying. So if you're not an athlete, you won't feel that.
All right.
That's why I get it. That's why I get it. You love Kevin Samuels, like I love Kobe. Because I'm an athlete.
Fair enough.
You're an investor.
Bando, how old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
Holy. Lo, can I ask you a question, Lo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you rather marry Ray Dalio or Kobe Bryant?
Let me look up this Ray guy really quick. I don't know who that is.
Ray Dalio. D-A-L-I-O.
I was going to say Kobe Bryant.
Lo, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Hold on, no. Let's hear Lo. Let's look up.
Well, first off, the pictures that they're showing of this man, he's an old ass man. CT, like what?
Just look up his net worth. He's not alive. You can't marry him. It's a simple question.
If you get 100 million, you're good. If you look good after 100 million, bro, like the best looking guy is gonna get it as long as you get 100
Lo, do you agree with that? A guy who's worth 20 billion versus a guy who's worth 100 million, they both look the same to you?
Me personally, yes, because I'm not money hungry. I don't worry about that too much. But like, I obviously am looking at a person's physical features and what they have like to give me. Like, if their personality is well, if they're gonna treat me right.
So money?
She's gonna choose Kobe.
Not at all. Not listen. I know, like you guys have your, theories on what women like are these days, what they expect.
Okay.
But people in my real life like actually know me and what type of person I am. They know the people I've been with. It's never been about money. It's always been about the person that they are.
Yeah.
Still, don't get me wrong. There has been definitely some bad choices, but I just never been a materialistic person. So.
Married?
Not yet.
Single or married? Are you dating someone?
I mean, I'm not trying to get into like the whole deep dive into YouTube, but we can just assume that I'm married. How about that?
Are you married or you're not married?
I mean,
Like either you are or not. Like,
okay, you can just say no then.
All right, let me play a little bit more of this.
okay. So the guys that you dated with their personalities, where are they at?
Well, they're obviously not in my life, but if you're asking like where they're at in their life, I couldn't really tell you.
Well, no. The point was that personality didn't work out.
Right.
That was the point.
Yeah, no, but like I said, there's definitely some bad choices in there of me picking, but whether I picked a man, it never has been about how much money he has or what job he has. That's like what CT was asking me with the comparison. If I seen the $20 million compared to the $100 million or whatever, would I look at them the same? And my just.
Couch.
How hard I have to work.
Do you think you had to try?
Oh no, I didn't. No, yeah. Women just don't take care of. No, I didn't. No. I had to. Yeah. I
You
don't.
work a little hard. You had to
Work a little hard.
show
Yeah.
your best foot twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Women just
Yeah,
don't. No one is gonna take care of me. So. Work. Yeah.
Well, you never know, man. You can run into a rich woman that might take care of you, CT.
Fuck, some women like taking care of men. CT, you can find it.
You the prize, bro. You the prize.
Lo, have you seen? Yeah.
Hey, CT. Some people are born with one leg. We should just start making pants with one leg now. That's just
No.
that's what we should do. Because some people only have one leg. They're born that way,
What was your question, CT?
I was gonna ask you, Lo. Did you see the movie Michael?
The new Michael Jackson movie? No, I didn't. I had an opportunity to go, but I just decided that I don't want to. And I seen some of the whatever, like the commentary on it, people saying how great it was, some people passing out in the theaters, but me personally, like if it's not the Michael Jackson on the screen, like, I don't want to watch it. So
Okay. He's sort of. I mean, it's like a.
yeah, it's his nephew, I know, but he still doesn't look like him. They're like his acting skills can be fucking top tier, but it's still not Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
CT, I'm still saying, bro, Kobe Bryant, $600 million net worth. He might have been able to give you some good investment advice.
No, I'm not saying that. No, a lot of public figures, they will show you their public assets. Whatever financial instruments they're using, whether it's options or common shares. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, sure.
Body armor.
CT, do you think LeBron James became a billionaire because of how great of investments he made?
No. It's because he could tomahawk dunk from the free throw line.
No, he definitely made some good investments.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Do you think that he was like, I know somebody had said something in the comments about like a grape allegation, which I've never heard from Kobe, but do you think like he was a faithful man to his wife and
I think that I don't think he was married at the time. Was he?
He was.
But I don't think he's raped anybody. I mean,
I'm not. I just brought that up because I know some people might use that for an argument, but I'm saying like as in the latest years before his death, do you think that he was a faithful man to his wife?
He could have been up until his death. Yeah. I mean, he was older. Hopefully, he would have gotten more mature. I mean, getting accused of rape and probably might have changed his life. Yeah, but yeah, probably was. But this is why I say
like people in general with money, like people with a lot of money, rich people. It could be celebrities, athletes, whatever. Do you think that they are mostly faithful or not?
The majority of rich faithful.
No,
that's a lot.
Okay, well, there's two options. Like, why do you say so confidently yes, CT, and why do you say
the majority of rich people aren't athletes or entertainers, right? These are people like a Ray Dalio or something, right? These are very high net worth people, and like in communities where there's wealth, your reputation goes a long way. And you don't want to get caught up on scandals and a lot of gossip. So I would assume, right? I don't know any high net worth people like that at all, but I would assume in those real elite circles, they're not fucking in more like.
But don't you think like with those same resources and
my opinion, it's just my opinion. That Lo asked me for my opinion. Yeah,
100%. Don't you think that with those same connections?
Hold on, guys. Lo is still asking me questions. Do you mind if she asks me the question? Go ahead, Lo.
Don't you think with those same like connections with other people and having that high status, they could also use that as a leverage to get away with certain stuff like that, though?
Yeah, they could, but I would like to assume that wealthy people, whether they are, a lot of wealthy people are. Let's say let's use law, right? If you are like a managing partner at a law firm or some shit, probably making $1 million, $2 or $3 million a year, maybe even more. do you even have the time to cheat? You know, when you're working those insane hours, and you know, and then you're dealing with, man. Lo, did you not ask me a question? You guys, I thought Lo was talking to me. No, what I'm saying is that when you were like an attorney, right? And I'm talking about a real attorney, not some bullshit person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing deals, you're acquisitions and mergers. You know, you're dealing with high level clientele. I don't think you want to get caught up in those types of situations, man.
Yeah.
So I would argue that maybe it's a quarter, but I would argue that 75% are very faithful. Probably.
Okay, this started a whole nother level of conversation where they, oh man, you know, CT was just baiting Savage Red right there. You know, he baited Savage Red to talk about the Epstein stuff and all that. So yeah, CT, he knows where to get the reactions. You know, he goes pro rich people because he knows that will infuriate Savage Red. Yeah, rich people, they don't cheat. Come on, man. They cheat about like maybe 25% of the time. It infuriates. So the next half hour is a back and forth about this. So does Ray Dalio, hedge fund manager, want to cheat? Okay, let me play this then. Let me play this. Okay, Lo needs to change her voice. You know, oh man, can't change how she grew up, man. Come on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Women with low voices. Let me see if I can find this one. I think I have something for you. I got a low voice clip. Oh man, come on. Load the video. God damn. What's going on here? Do I really gotta do this crap now? God damn.
I was a gooner, I was a retard, I was a cola, multiple personality like a tuna. Bone crushing, joking, now I'm mugger. Peptides, class streams, put it all in my ear, put me in a dream. All night long, when I die, bury me with my live stream on. Talmud,
Okay. Oh. Hold on.
Tried go click, make a void shape. George Floyd overdose. Goonet void in the back hole. AI turn it into goon bait. T50s, woke pussy hoes. TND Goy in the castle. In high school, I was a gooner. I was a retard. I was a cola. Multiple personality like a truna. Bone crushing, joking. Now I'm mugger. Peptides, clav streams. Put it all in my ear. Put me in a dream.
Had a low voice, didn't think it was a crime, and today I was at a comedy show and the comic on stage was like, who in the crowd likes ice cream? And I was the only one that piped up and I was like, yes. And then the comic goes, the only gay dude in the back. Oh. I was like, no, I'm a woman. And then he was like, oh, sorry. And then it got.
Yeah, I was trying to get this thing to damn load up. So no, you didn't miss anything. I was spending the last minute or two just to try to get this video to play. Like, what the fuck? Just play it. God damn it. All right. Let me play it again. All right. Come on. Jeez.
Clothes off, baby, I got peptides. Tell me a secret, then I'll tell one of mine. I don't wanna talk, I wanna goon all night. Ask me if I'm alright.
It's like I'm an alto, like I don't crime. And today I was at a comedy show and the comic on stage was like, who in the crowd likes ice cream? And I was the only one that piped up and I was like, yes. And then the comic goes, the only gay dude in the back. Oh. I was like, no, I'm a woman. And then he was like, oh, sorry. And then it got really awkward. It's like, I'm an alto, like I don't.
All right. There you go. So women with low voices. As far as women with ghetto voices, you know, you gotta talk with Low about that. I can't help you. So there you go. All right, let's play some Ray Dalio. Let's see if this works. Come on, I just need to play Ray Dalio. All right, this is the competition here.
Hitler on the beat. Goonin', fappin', should go click, make a voice shake. George Floyd overdose, Goonin' Floyd in the back hole. Goonin', fappin', AI, turnin' into goon bait. T50s, whoop pussy hoes, TNT boy in a castle. In high school I was a gooner, I was a retard, I was a coder. Multiple personality like a truna. Bone crushing, joking, now I'm Marga. Peptides, class streams, voted all in my ear, put me in a dream. Boom, babe, all night long. When I die, bury me with my live stream on. Talmud, boom, I ran. Sock in my ear, put me in a trance. Mega cock. Bury me with all my goon bets. When I die, know I lost it all on rain bed. Lights off, night lights. Clothes off, baby, I got peptides. When I die, bury me with William's thong. When I die, bury me with my toupee on. Lights off, night lights. Clothes off, baby. Clothes off, baby, I got peptides. Tell me a secret and I'll tell one of mine. I don't wanna talk, I wanna goon all night. Ask me if I'm alright, UFO demon inside. Lip dark, peanut, shut core click, make a void shake. George Floyd overdose, goon at Floyd in the back hole. Goonin', fappin', AI, turning into goon bait. T50s, woke pussy hoes, TND boy in the castle. In high school I was a gooner, I was a retard, I was a cola, multiple personality like a truna. Bone crushing, joking.
Begin with the war in Iran, which seems far from over despite President Trump's wishes. But so far, the war hasn't really bothered the debt and equity markets all that much. Bridgewater founder Ray Dalio has spent a career making long-term investments based on his understanding of the geopolitics and the politics of great economic powers like the U.S. being challenged by others.
Follow the cash, follow the money, okay? There's a reaction like wars are bad, and wars are bad, but the reality is markets trade as the present value of future cash flows by and large. And so if you've got the cash, follow the cash. So what's happening in the way of changes what it means for energy in Asia, or what it means here and for our cash flows. But the markets are trading on the basis of the cash flow. So when we came into this period of time, there was a reaction before we had the earnings reports. There was a reaction that this is a scary thing. Quite often markets will sell off at that time. They did sell off. And then we had great earnings estimates. And the reported earnings were much greater than the actual earnings. So follow the money, okay? At the end of the day, you're exchanging a lump sum payment for a future cash flow, and that's what matters.
What about those longer term trends? I mean, tectonic plates as they were shifting, whether it's monetary, whether it's financial, whether it's geopolitical. How does the war in Iran fit into those sort of long term shifts?
Yeah, it's interesting. If you look at the markets, Pearl Harbor comes, imagine that. And you see not much effects, initial effect, and then you see the cash flows mattering. But over the period of time, it depends. There are the winners, there are the losers, and there are the neutral countries, okay? Economically, the winners still experience the cost of the war, the debt, like the British Empire had the debt and had its consequences. The losers of the war get wiped out. You change all orders. You change the domestic political order, the international order, the monetary order, and almost everything. The winners are the neutral countries because they profit during the war. The United States made a lot of money in both World War I and World War II in the time when that wasn't in the wars. And then it accumulated a lot of gold and so on, and then it entered the period late. So the neutral countries are the ones that end up not being disrupted and end up doing the best.
I'm not even sure what it means for the U.S. to win the war in Iran right now.
But I think it's clear.
Tell me.
Okay. The world is looking at, will Iran have this control the Strait of Hormuz? Will it retain the uranium, the nuclear, and will it also have the power through the missiles and others to inflict harm? Will the United States have the power to fight the war? In other words, with politics and Americans with gas prices and cost of living, we now have a situation where the world is looking at this and defining it. Does the United States have the capacity to win the war? And this has huge implications because it means, for countries, it means alliances. Why do they have the bases there? The United States has about 750 bases in about 80 countries. And those bases are largely there under the assumption that the United States will turn up and defend them. Right now, that perception is changing. So I think winning the war is clear. Iran is perceived as a middle power, not a great power. And can the United States win it or not? And this is now having a big effect in when I go around the world, like in Asia. You know, the United States, it has been viewed as a countervailing force relative to China. Okay, now it's believed that the United States cannot be relied on to fight that war, will not be there with those bases. And this is changing relationships with China too. You're seeing a number of leaders go up to China and essentially have relations, but it's like the tribute system. But also in the region, there's the recognition, in their view, that there is an environment where the countries in the region have to recognize and respect that power. And so now you're seeing that happen. That tribute system is not a oppressive controlling system. It's much more like there's the more powerful have an obligation to behave well with the less powerful, and the less powerful have an obligation to recognize the more powerful, and they should operate in a harmonious way.
You say that as far as we can tell, you can tell, the Chinese by and large think they're doing pretty well in the rivalry with the United States right now.
China Inc. is making a ton of money. In other words, if you look at the amount of money that they are making through their export earnings, and the amount of financial assets that they've accumulated and are accumulating, it's huge. So one talks a lot about trade, but you have to look at money and the quantity of money and their earnings and their raising of living standards and how they're competing in various areas, certainly AI, but robotics and a number of areas. You would have to say that they are doing very well.
We say the post-World War II order, imposed largely by the U.S., is breaking down. Would you say China has a substantial say, if not dictating, the next world order?
Yes, of course. But that doesn't mean, I think you said it well, I'm not dictating. I think that there will be an evolution. And I think that China's rise in relative power that we're talking about is creating a situation that they will create a tribute system type of system. And what's important and actually practical about that is it recognizes that there are differences in power, okay? The system that we went through, a tiny country in the United Nations could have the same vote as a huge country, and it wasn't a practical system. So I think you're going to see it evolve in that region as being a tribute system type of system. I think increasingly we're going to see that in the world. I don't expect China to be an aggressive military power. I think that you will see economically Chinese companies competing in the world. You're going to see an acceleration of that. The use of the renminbi as a world currency, you're going to see an acceleration of that. It won't replace the dollar quickly, but it's going to grow quickly for transactions. So you're going to see that kind of operation. You're going to see in negotiations, you're going to see that you will not be able to push around China. That it will be a force.
What does this mean for investors, such as you? I mean, investments are made against an order of some sort. There's a predictability. You have contracts, you can enforce them. If in fact there's a breakdown of the world order, what does that say to investors?
I think first of all, when we think of investing, we have to think of what is investing for, and it's our total life, not just making the most money. So they have to think about diversification very well, right? In other words, they have to think about, we're now in a turbulent time. And that means, for example, the value of money could be a risk. What currency is it going to be in? So, and how do you diversify? So for example, now as we have AI having a big effect, it's a fantastic technology that's going to have big revolutionary effects. If we look in history of such cases, what we can see is then it also can create bubbles. Also, liquidity is very valuable in a very rapidly changing world because uncertainty is so great. Look at the difference in SaaS stocks, by way of example, right? So who would guess? Who could know? And so liquidity is very valuable. That's right. Diversification is very valuable. And when I say diversification, I do include gold in that, in terms of money, because we do have a question mark in terms of money. And these are not tactical moves. In other words, I don't think that the average man should be moving in and out based on what I say or what others say. They should have a strategic asset allocation mix that they by and large stick to that has the best reward to risk ratio.
All right, so you got your Ray Dalio moment there. All right, so now you know who Ray Dalio is. Hopefully you understand. Ray Dalio is a China boo. Okay, he was always big on China. He's been bullish on China since Who knows? But he's been bullish on China forever right now. He's been telling people to buy their stock forever, all the time, you know? I mean, if you bought Chinese stocks, it doesn't exactly go up in one direction, right? Chinese stocks go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So he's a big fan of China. I think you gathered that information from listening to him. So Lo has to pick between Ray Dalio or the corpse of Kobe Bryant. Which person would she pick? That is your question of the day. Anyhow, we're done with that. Right now, market is closed. So if you listen to me, you got HUT, you got here. Let me share my screen. So let's look at some industrial stocks too while we're at it. Let me wrap this up. So yeah, HUT closed 9% today. If you got IREN, you got 10%. If you got CIFR, 10%. If you got APLD, 21%. If you got NBIS, 15% today. So hopefully this will continue on into next week. Okay, so I think these stocks will be the primary drivers from now on. Now, I don't know about semiconductors, except for ARM right now, right? Got like Micron, 4%. Will it continue on to $1,000? I don't know. That's my target, is $1,000 if we're pumping semiconductors again. How about Intel? Intel, down day, right? I think it ended down. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit down, negative 0.38%. So I can still see it going to 180 if the semiconductors keep pumping. As far as like the Korean stocks, as you know, the Koreans are going crazy. They withdrew all their money from the banks. No more savings accounts for Koreans. No more life insurance for Koreans. Koreans are now full on bubble mode, pumping their stock market. So we got EWY right now up 3.51% today. Let's see what happens overnight. You know, if you want to gamble, all right, fine. You want to do 3x Koru, go for it. Go for it. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. Personally, to me, I would not be gambling on Korea this heavily. I think this is high risk because you don't know when the Korean bubble will burst. I think this will burst very quickly if something goes wrong. July, let me read this article. So July, did I even put this around? So Korea is opening a 24-hour market for currencies. So the US dollar and Korean won will now have a 24-hour market starting in July, I think. Oh man, I don't know where I even like freaking bookmark this crap. Let me find it. Let's see. Korean. Let's see. Korean won 24 hours. Okay, let me pull up this article. Might as well talk about it. Okay, South Korea to start 24-hour dollar won spot trading starting on July 6th. Okay, this is where we're gonna be at. Blah blah blah. For the first time, okay, the finance ministry said on Thursday in its latest step to open up the country's foreign exchange market, trial trading for the 24-hour extension will begin June 29th. All right, so if you want to have a date of when the Korean bubble might pop, mark your calendars. All right, June 29th into July 6th. Maybe that's when everybody's going to go crazy. I believe I've read that the foreign markets have essentially tried to exit the Korean market because now it's gone to bubble territory. So nobody wants to touch it anymore in the foreign markets. Domestically, it's going to continue. So what I would say is, like, as long as the Korean markets is still in bubble territory, that will give fuel for the semiconductors in the US markets So every time the Korean markets pump overnight, we will see a pump in semiconductors, especially Micron, SanDisk, any other memory stocks you might think of during the day. So if you want to play the bubble, go ahead. Be my guest. I guess it will be a good practice session for you guys to feel what a bubble is like, because we're going to get into a massive bubble next year if we don't implode in October before the midterms. Okay, so if Kevin Warsh does not crash the market somehow, which is possible, it could be possible, by October, that'll be where I'll be watching. Otherwise, yeah, enjoy the bubble. We got a nice one going. I think we'll be having fine. We'll be doing fine with that. So let me see what we got for industrial stocks, industrial utilities, energy stocks. So top one so far, Bloom Energy, 39.2% thanks to AI. We have Dominion Energy merging with Next Era Energy. I talked about it last stream. I was saying, like, yes, Next Era Energy is trying to buy Dominion. So the whole eastern seaboard below the Mason-Dixon line will be all under one utility. So if this continues on, then yeah, we will start seeing utility stocks really improve massively over AI hype. Halliburton, still the top one here. Oil Equipment Services, HAL. We got a pipeline company, Williams Companies, WMB, Talon Energy Corp. Okay, that's kind of like going sideways. Who cares? ETF, OIH, still doing well. So oil services has done quite well so far. We got some fertilizer stocks going down with the oil prices. Schlumberger, however you want to pronounce it. This is doing good too, along with Halliburton. SLB. So ET, another pipeline company, ET. So that one's good. So yeah, we will discuss more and more about this as we continue into August. I don't think you need to worry about this type of shit. Just go with the flow. Just go with the HUT. Go with the APLD. I don't care. Just go with the bubble. Just go with the bubble. That's what it is. Right? That's why I'm saying get your money quick this month, okay, into next month. Take that money and then go back into oil, gas, industry stocks. We had two earnings today. We had Deere, big earnings, I mean. Deere and Walmart, right? I think they were both down. I think right now they were both down. So that's disappointing. Deere went right back to the resistance support line. So it's not like Caterpillar, I guess. So this one's not like Caterpillar. So yeah, we got a little bit of waiting time. So 5:32 on Deere right now in the after hours. So so you can see, like, let's look at the year to date. See this? After the February earnings, down, sideways, down. Okay, so we got time for this one. No rush. Walmart, let's see how that ended up. 7%. Yeah, had a bad day. I guess earnings didn't do well. Okay. Uptrend is still intact, but you can see, like, it's gonna go sideways for a while. So Walmart, you can wait for that. Like I said, look for Coca-Cola, probably better off. Coca-Cola bottling, COKE, not KO, COKE. And then we had two Mexican Coca-Cola Pepsi bottlers to look at. All right, so we're gonna look at that sometime down the line as well. I think those will be doing well. Those two. ELF makeup stocks. Okay, it did okay. I mean, after hours, it looked a lot better yesterday and overnight. We were up 10%, and then we just went back down. So I don't know. Does that mean, like, we're gonna have good results for a lot of these discretionary stocks? You have ELF. I think Victoria's Secret is changing their stock ticker. Victoria's Secret is now VSexy, VSXY. I think they're rebranding. I think they got tired of putting fat chicks in lingerie, so now it's like VSXY now instead of VSCO, whatever that means. So if you're looking for discretionary stocks, yeah, Victoria's Secret has changed their ticker symbol, so they're gonna change their tickers. Right now, it's still VSCO, I think, right? VSCO, Victoria's Secret. I don't know. I'm right. See, this is how good I remember ticker symbols now. VSCO. So because they changed their ticker symbol, they're gonna be VSXY. It's up 6%. Amazing. So, are we gonna have fat chicks in lingerie or not? That's up to you guys to figure out whether I care or not. All right, guys. Okay, that's enough. So yesterday I played a video. Let me mention this a little bit. So the guy that talks about the options, they try to sell you a service, right? It's called vol signals. So let me read what AI says about them. So they're just summarizing what's on the website, I'm assuming. Vol Signals, founded by former S&P 500 market makers, offers institutional grade data. Specifically, its VS3D analytics platform, which models live dealer hedging flows. Gamma, Charm, and Vanna. It distinguishes itself from Eve GEX models by actually showing separate guys information. So now we are reading gamma exposure GEX way. So let's see how that. So I'm trying stuff. I do the paint some of this out here. You just look at you got up. Yeah. I don't. I forgot.
Just say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Don't wanna lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why here they don't.
The guys.
If I knew it all, then would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead? If I knew it all, then would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead?
No, I already have OBS on my computer. If I use OBS, it will just be like, dude, I only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, man. You think I'm gonna like do any extra stuff? I don't care about technology, you know? Bro. That means I gotta be a pro streamer, man. Fuck that. I do have OBS on my computer. I run OBS and that's it. Invest some money. I don't want to invest money in my Wi-Fi. I use the library Wi-Fi. See, I live minimally. I already retired, man. I already made my money. That's why I can have time to come here and babble on about stocks, because I already retired. Bro, after COVID-19, I wanted out of the game. But you know what? You guys in Boyd, you guys are entertaining. You guys might make me laugh my ass off. You have a fake lawyer running around named Imperious. You got some stupid N-word shit going down. You got Thorpe's doing incest in an RV. Yeah, it's fascinating. Very fascinating to me. So keep entertaining me. I'll just keep showing up. But otherwise, no. I mean, I gotta really invest in streaming stuff if I really care. That's the problem. So yeah, I use the library Wi-Fi. I use the because I've been done, man. 2018, you know, I was like, why do I gotta watch the internet anymore? It's boring. What was my shorty? Yeah. I still drive like fucking. I still drive my beater cars. Like I just pay $100 a month on insurance, and somehow people haven't crashed into my cars yet. So I've been waiting for a cash out, but hasn't happened. So I have 2 cars on $100 of insurance per month. I think most people pay thousands of dollars a month in California because there's so many illegals that a lot of people get hit by drivers with no insurance that everybody else has to pay for in California. But yeah, weather's nice though, so I give it that. Income tax, capital gains tax in the state level, terrible. Okay, so most of my stuff is long term. So all the trading stuff I tell you guys is just for fun. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. That's all I got. So there you go. You know, I think they figured out that I'm taking their internet, so they started like putting wallpaper up to block the signals now. So yeah, they don't want people stealing their internet outside anymore. You could just park outside because too many people had RVs like running right in there and just be like parking in front of the library. I guess they got sick of that. A lot of homeless know what to do. Homelessness in California is very good. You just open up like the street lamp cables. You just peel it off. You open the wires. You can power up your tent with lights and everything forever. Being homeless in California is very good. Very lucrative. Very lucrative. They probably have better streaming service than I do, living in a tent right now. Because they're more mobile. They don't have to have a fucking car parked outside. So there you go. But yeah, I don't really care about this. This is just for you guys. I mean, you guys can listen to me or not. That's up to you. But I'm giving you just free information. But as I said, like most of my money is just like in long-term stuff. Yep. He's siphoning our signal. Yeah, probably. I mean, they have neighbors too. They probably got pissed off if some of the neighbors started like doing 4K porn, because the internet in the library is a lot better than a lot of people's fiber going in. I could upload like three movies within like 30 minutes at once because the upload speed is so good. The upload speeds are so good at the library compared to anybody else. So I do a lot of my uploading at the library. I just walk in there and just upload. Because the upload speeds are so insane. That's why Cali is so good for Ice Poseidon streamer Clue. Yeah. If you want to be homeless, you got to come out here. That's why the Thorpes are so dumb to go back to the East Coast. I was like, you went to California, just stay in California. Apply for SNAP, apply for the welfare. You want to stream, just go in front of some fucking Walmart or whatever. You're going to get it. Yeah. Children's Hub. You know, I used to get Wi-Fi from the hospital too. Hospital has good Wi-Fi too. You can go to like a lot of universities and hospitals. They had Wi-Fi. Actually, there was like a boomer. A boomer was using the public school Wi-Fi, but then after COVID ended, they shut it down because during COVID they extended like the funding for the public school Wi-Fi, and this boomer came in to the library and was asking like, "Yo, man, I need to update my Wi-Fi devices and stuff," because he was using an old laptop and his Wi-Fi, like I guess firmware was so ancient. So I was doing some IT, and he just paid me $20 just to fix his shit. I said like, "Nah, I don't need your money, man." It was just, he just paid me $20 because I was fixing his shit. You watch those agents try to charge Ruby $5. I don't think she understood them. She didn't understand. No, they weren't trying to charge him. They didn't understand Vietnamese. No, they weren't trying to charge her. No, they misunderstood. They were speaking in Vietnamese. They didn't understand what the hell was going on. Let's see. They can make connections and collabs in Cali too, and Vegas. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the streamer life out down here, but Ruby's gonna come out here, right? Ruby and what? Kinetic Kel. Kinetic Kel's gonna come back out here. Kinetic Kel is like out in, where is she right now? She's in like the Imperial Valley. Is she like down in like the Apple Valley area, like Barstow? I don't even know where Kel is, but when she goes IRL, it looks like the desert. So she's like by the Joshua trees, by the Mojave. So basically somewhere between Riverside and Vegas. I'm guessing where she's at. Yeah, Ryan, how you think? Yeah, that's me. I'm Asian, so that's my mentality. We nickel and dime everything. Yeah, we're not gonna pay more than what we should, right? Why should we? That's just the mentality. I mean, I'm not that cheap, but yeah, I mean, my relatives definitely will be cheap. So that's their mentality. That's what happens when you live in a bombed out like third world shithole, right? You're gonna have to save every penny. All right, guys, I think you understand what to do. Hopefully you guys got Hut and all that. Lots of Riverside streamers too. Spicoli's in, yeah, Spicoli is in Palm Springs. Yeah, Palm Springs. Yeah, Palm Springs. I mean, the most disappointing thing so far this summer is that we haven't had, dude, everybody is doing IRL but not doing IRL together, right? The Thorpes are separated from Ruby, from Miss Hayes, from Jeremy, from Matt. All of them want to do IRL, but they don't go together. They don't go together. Yeah, what the fuck, man? You want to do IRL? Go together. Yeah, Palm Springs. Ugh. I mean, the Palm Springs, it only gets hopping when people go to Coachella, right? I mean, that's it. But most of it's just a retirement home. It's a retirement home. Kind of thing, which makes sense. So that's why Spicoli's out there. Okay, yeah. Ooh. Haven't heard Spicoli in at least a year. Kind of forgot he died. That's because he got banned. When he talked about Grace's little sister, he got exiled. Like the only people that has Spicoli up are the Thorpes right now. The Thorpes kind of played lip service, banning him, but they quickly were like, okay, that's enough. That's enough punishment for Spicoli. So Spicoli came back to the Thorpe panels a couple times, but I haven't seen him like put back on any other panels. I think he gave up. He still has multiple outs, multiple channels, and I think people look pretty terrible at this point. They look so terrible, a lot of these guys. Like, let me show you Hormaxer right now. Hormaxer grew some boobs. He basically grew some boobs, man. Like, I don't think he's getting his daily injections anymore. They're probably very expensive. Inflation is very high. I mean, ground beef is up 300% from the year 2000, right? So, can't imagine what all the testosterone injections, the TRT, the peptides, Who the hell knows what other crap he's on? It's like insane. It's like yeah, so insane. Like here, you see that? Look at Spicoli. He got a cleavage. Look at Spicoli up in the upper left, man. Upper right. He's got cleavage, bro. Dude, those things are starting to sag. Oh, Hormaxer was fighting Matt. Man, I can't pay attention to this anymore. I mean, it's just too many orbiters now. Like, either Matt wins or not. And then look at Lalo down here at the bottom left. He's red as fuck. It can't just be like a camera. Like, dude, that's not a camera. What the fuck is... How much is he drinking? How much is Lalo drinking? Dude, didn't he get a DUI? Bro, these people are cooked, man. These people are cooked. Yeah, he's probably using some bootleg shit. He can't afford the real shit. He's definitely gonna get Mexican like knockoffs. Oil and interest rates are climbing back to so much for the fake news. Yeah, but is it gonna affect anything else? That's my question. The only thing it's gonna affect is the gold, right? And like Eric, I gave you the video. I gave you an explanation of why interest rates probably don't matter. So anyway, I didn't even watch this stream. I just went and saw the thumbnail. I downloaded the thumbnail and just put it up there. I was just like, I'm not watching this no more. This is stupid, dude. Dude, this is dumb. Either you guys do IRL together or just fuck off. Like, I don't want to hear any more of this. Like, oh, let's do a A-log stream. Let's do another boring, easy to do A-log stream. How many A-log streams are you gonna do? This is like, fuck this shit. Fuck these people. Yeah, Hormaxer lives with his mom. Lalo lives with his mom. Grace lives with his fucking dad in an RV. Ruby's the only one with an actual apartment. Holy shit. So the fentanyl junkie addict is the only one with an actual house. Amazing. Amazing. Anyhow. Dude, I wanted like Dead Man to cover this stuff. Like the Dead... Oh my god, dude. Somebody else do the work. I don't want to do the job anymore. Can we have a reaction streamer that'll do this? Is Dead Man gonna do this for me? I don't want to do this. Lalo just got... I heard that. Did you know that Dalmatian claims he got a apartment too? So Dalmatian and Lalo claim that they've left their nest. Really? At the same time? What's going on out here? Jeremy lives with his mom. It looks like Jeremy lives with turtles and snakes. I don't know what's going on over there. Every time I tune in, it's like, oh, he's touching a snake. He's touching a turtle. This is the content we got now, man. I'm just like, all right, turn off. Turn off. I can't watch this anymore. I'm just hoping Zeus can do something. Please, Zeus, go troll Princess. Go to Princesses and go. Oh my god. Please do something, Zeus. Help me. Help me have content for the summer. Honestly, I've gone back to watching pre-made videos, and I've stopped watching live streams now. He's the son of Reptile Man. But did you notice that when Grace pointed out that, hey, there's a Scott Jeremy in Washington, and then they started like he started leaning hard on the reptile stuff. Did somebody in Discord tell him to like, yo, your dad already got doxxed. Might as well lean hard into the gimmick. Was that why? Really strange why he went hard on that. Because like he's really easy to influence. So all you need is like Grace to tell him to do something and he'll do it. That's it. So, or Nyx, right? Nyx, Grace, some female on Discord told him to do something, and he just leaned into it. They're gonna move in together, and nobody will pay rent. Yeah, great. We're gonna have another John Galt situation. Oh, which will be good. Maybe that'll be good. If they rent from somebody like John Galt, that'll be fun. Hopefully he's a live streamer too. That's it. All right, guys. I've covered enough. Hopefully we'll get some good action next week. We got a long weekend. Okay, Friday. Who knows what's gonna happen? There's gonna be no earnings tonight. That's really important. Friday is probably a do nothing day. It's a 3-day weekend. Everybody's going home or going to vacation right now for Memorial Day weekend. So I don't expect any crazy market action. All right, Koreans are probably going to be done. They're going to wrap up tonight. We're not going to get any more Korean action until Sunday night. And yeah, we'll see if it pumps or not next week.